Next up on our list, though, is Cognition Holdings. Now, this company you may be more familiar with by its old name, which was Foneworx. Okay. Interesting company, though. They provide the interactive communication services that back up many of these call-to-action campaigns that you will see, brand launches, and also television programs. So, for example, programs like Strictly Come Dancing, SA's Got Talent. When you sit there and watch those shows and vote for the contestants, you are in fact using their systems. Those, of course, are paid for by the SMS type charges. They get flow back of cash from the networks, and the companies doing those activations, of course, love this kind of thing because it is highly profitable. And naturally, Cognition Holdings makes good money out of that process too. Market cap of this company, 283 million rand, so fairly modest operation, but been around a good while. Price earnings ratio 9.8, dividend yield high on its last distribution, 5.7%. So an entrepreneur who founded this one, I think his name is Mark Smith. He's the guy who put this company together. Shareholders, though, are interesting. It was the Kirsch family, but most recently, our old pals from Caxton, Terry Mulman and Noel Coburn, have snapped up a 30% stake in this business. Interesting little media player, though, with a nice technology flavor.
Yeah, given the caliber of the shareholding, particularly Caxton, you would think, well, you know, these guys must know a good thing when they see it. But I suppose my view is coloured. I tend not to watch these shows on TV, and therefore I'm not necessarily that
well,
au
they're
fait with them.
extremely popular. I know you might be watching them, but it's not Idols. There's the other one, SA's Got Talent. There's the other one I'm trying to think of that is on X Factor.
Right.
That thing's hot, man. You don't watch X Factor?
No, I don't watch any of this stuff. No, it has no appeal to me whatsoever. It's completely ephemeral as far as I'm concerned. But I suppose what's happened here is they've taken over from the old days when they would say, send a stamped addressed envelope or a postcard. And because we don't have a post office anymore to speak of, it's not going to work. They've taken a technological bet. And I think that's very good. My question remains, though, Paul, what is the longevity of this type of thing? Is it necessarily going to be that great? I mean, in the consumer environment that's going to take a lot of strain over the next few years, I think this one could be a little bit stretched.
Look, the brand activation side of the business is also big. That's where people like, I don't know, SAB Miller want to launch something, so then they have a thing where if you lift up the cap, it's got a number, you SMS, that kind of stuff. You know, these things do work, and people do like them, and we're heading into this mobile era and so on. What you can do technologically is pretty impressive.
Yes, no, the technology I haven't got a problem with.
But the earnings have been a little bit patchy for this one, you've got to admit, and that's typical of smaller companies, that sometimes they can hover from one period where they do very well, and then they say with the next set of results, well, listen, we had to discontinue this line of business, and now we're doing that, and so on and so forth. So they are prone to a little bit of that kind of variability.
And as I say, I think generally the consumer environment for the next few years is going to be pretty dismal in South Africa, other than if you've got a really, really strong and recognizable brand. So this thing, I think, might take a bit of strain.
Okay, so you're leaning towards not hot. Look, I'm quite keen on the business. I like that sort of activation model, but on the other hand, it's quite small and the earnings have been volatile, so I'm going to go with not hot as well. Maybe they'll look better in future.